Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the second episode of Cardboard and Cold Ones, where we crack a beer and we talk cards. I'm joined by my partner in this collaboration, Jason, everyday card collector.
Hello, everybody. How we doing?
And we have special guests tonight. We have Greg from MidLife Sports Cards and Dan from Dan's Vintage Baseball PC. It's a pleasure, guys. Gonna crack. I got the banquet tonight, the Coors Banquet, because as I mentioned,
boy.
The tall boy too.
It is a tall boy. So I was talking to these guys before about trying to come up with a little bit of a cliche concept that might just be fun. So we're gonna start off with a cheers, a toast, and raise our glasses here. I think the perfect toast is our health and our safety, as well as the most important thing, less than a month to the national. So let's get us there. So cheers to everybody.
Nice.
Fantastic. Very good.
Feels like a taste of a baseball game.
Oh, it's Friday too. It tastes a little bit better.
So I asked everybody tonight to obviously grab a beer that they wanted, and we're going to be talking cards from every decade. We asked to pick a few. We're going to just kind of go around, talk a little bit about that, and usually these sort of things kind of lead into other topics of discussion, which is always great, which is something I always appreciate about this sort of live stream. So you guys picked what you wanted to show. I know, Dan, you sent some...
Yeah. Start with the beer. Go ahead. Greg. What beer are you drinking, and then show a card.
That's true. Yeah, that is very true. Looks like Peter is sitting on the deck with a cigar and a Narragansett Atlantic Light Lager wine. Oh man, on the deck.
Boy, Peter.
Yes. Oh, that sounds awesome right about now.
So you want me to kick off, Sam? Yeah, I can kick off.
Kick it off, Jason.
All right. So what I'm drinking tonight is a local brew out of Wisconsin. It's from New Glarus. New Glarus is a small city in Wisconsin that brews beer. Their biggest beer is Spotted Cow, but I believe it's only sold in Wisconsin. And we've got a summer home in Wisconsin, so we pick up a lot of Spotted Cow and New Glarus beer. And this one is, I don't even know what this is because we bought a variety pack. This is Two Women's Lager, and it's pretty good. So I'm probably going to bring a case of the Spotted Cow, which is their most popular beer, to the National. So those in the house, my good friend Dan, will have some Spotted Cow. So, but I know you want. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now I know you wanted to start with. I guess we're starting pre-war, Sammy.
Sure. Well, let's start 80s and go backwards. I think
you want to go 80s and backwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that'd be a lot of fun.
So let's see what I got. All right. So this is most of the stuff that I've got. Everybody's seen already. I wanted to have something. Greg said it in a text, and it made complete sense. I wanted to have something that meant something to me. That's kind of what I wanted to show. So this one was just shown, I think, on my last video, and Dan's familiar with it too because he was on a thread.
Oh yeah.
So that's my Perez Steel autographed Duke Schneider that I got as a gift from my dad's friend, Frank. So very special gift and just a phenomenal piece. So I figured I'd show that. Not a whole heck of a lot to it. I'm not a huge Perez Steel guy. I kind of looked it up, what it was all about, and it's just, obviously I love Perez Steel. They're beautiful, but don't have a ton of it in my collection. But this is a great piece, and I'm actually probably going to take it to the National and get it authenticated with a couple other autographs that I have.
So with JSA?
I was actually going to go to PSA.
Oh, PSA with it?
Get it encased and authenticated. So yeah, so that's my first piece in the 80s.
Fantastic. Good start. Dan, do you want to show yours?
Well, the bad news is I don't have anything from the 80s. I don't really collect cards from the 80s, but let me talk about the beer first.
Yes.
Ebbs is a brewing company, a small brewing company in Flushing, and this is their Pilsner, which is fantastic. It's got a lot of body. It's got a lot of heart to it. It's a little bit hoppy, but really refreshing for this time of year. And the cool thing about Ebbs being in Flushing is that one of their breweries is at Citi Field. So there's your baseball connection.
Very cool.
Nice.
Card-wise, not having anything from the 80s, but I do have a card from 77 and 76. This is my childhood hero, Bobby Mercer. the Yankees broke my heart when they traded him for Bobby Bonds to the San Francisco Giants. And these are cards, the hostess cards. These would come in 3 at a time at the bottom of a hostess, whether it be Twinkies or Ring Dings or Yodels or whatever. And then my mom would buy me the desserts. I would eat them all and then cut the cards out. These are not my original cards. I do still have some of my original cards, but these are cards that I purchased recently. So Mercer, I'll go back and show a card from him when I go back for the 70s, because I have a couple more from the 70s. So that's where we're going. I have another beer for later, and I also I have every decade from the 70s back to the 20s. So
fantastic. Those are cut well too, Dan.
Yeah, no, these are nice. Yeah,
I'm
pretty sure they were eBay purchases.
Very awesome. I was actually thinking about bringing out the Seaver from that, but I knew you were going to be bringing the Hostess ones out, so I decided to choose something a little bit different but fun. But those are cool cards. Always fun to find those. All right, Greg, I'm going to bring you over.
All right, so I am drinking a Guinness. I don't drink a lot. I probably have 10 or 12 beers a year. It's just, I don't know. But when I drink, this tends to be what I drink the most. So I got a 4-pack of these yesterday. We'll see how much of it I get through. So what I decided to do is, because like we were talking in the text about making it meaningful stuff. So a lot of people have been very generous to me, and they have given me lots of gifts. It's sort of like a thing. We'd like to give each other stuff. And so I know that I would wonder, like, what happens to that stuff, Greg, when when I send you something. So everything I'm going to show tonight was gifted to me from the greater YouTube community, card collecting community. So everything. So first, I have this binder, and every single card in this binder was given to me from the community. So those are some Greg Nettles cards, but those aren't the ones I'm picking. And then the other thing that's really cool is people, they write letters to me. When they send me stuff, they also send me letters, and I keep them all. And so what I wanted to do was I wanted to find some stuff that people gave me to show, and then also find the corresponding letter from who it was from. So that's what I'm going to do. So are we going one round here? Or are we going to go around twice for the 80s? Or
whatever you guys want to do.
Yeah, we can do 2 rounds. We can just do.
Because I kind of cheated and I did 90s too. So.
That's okay. That's okay.
So I'll do 2 80s here real quick, and then I'll do 2 90s in a minute.
Perfect.
First thing I wanted to show is this. This is from someone special in the community. So this is a Greg Nettles jumbo card, and it's signed by Nettles. And the other thing I try to do is on the back write who it's from. So you guys probably recognize those guys, Jake and RJ.
Absolutely.
Father-son vintage cards. So they sent that to me. So that was very cool. And then when we were in Strongsville, Orlando kind of met up with and talked to a really nice guy who has amazing vintage football stuff. And his name is Don. And Don's a great guy, a member of the community. I got to hang out with him a little bit in Strongsville. And he helps his friend who lives in Las Vegas, whose name is Steve. He helps Steve build up his vintage football collection. So he bought a card for Steve in Strongsville, and I was standing there, and Don gave me the phone. And so I started telling Steve the card that was just bought on his behalf. And then, so Steve and Don are great guys. So Steve sent me this really nice letter. And I'm not going to read the whole thing. There's a couple I might read parts of. But one of the things that was very cool is he sent me this Sports Illustrated. And you'll see that this Sports Illustrated is signed by Greg Nettles in gold Sharpie. And when I showed this on my channel, something that I pointed out was my daughter's name is Lucy, and we call her Goose. That's like her nickname is Goose. And so this, the title is it's Greg Nettles with Goose Gossage, and it says Greg and the Goose. So he didn't know that at the time, but the gold Sharpie on the autograph is awesome. I actually had the Sports Illustrated, but it obviously wasn't signed. So that was a very cool gift from Steve. So that's kind of the theme I'm going to go with tonight, is showing different cool stuff that people have given me.
That is awesome.
That is
and I
really
remember
cool.
that gentleman in your Strongsville video. Was it Don? You were
Don.
saying?
Yeah.
I remember him in the Strongsville videos.
Yeah,
So,
he's got an incredible vintage collection. In fact, Orlando, I think, did a little video of a bunch of Don's collection that Don brought to the show. And if I'm not mistaken, Orlando's in the chat. If I'm not mistaken, he actually bought Orlando's Beecher card that Orlando
Yes,
brought to sell.
Yeah, I think you're correct.
Which is, one of the Grail vintage football cards.
Right.
So anyway, so that was my 80s stuff. And next time if we go around, I'll show you a couple 90s things.
Very cool. Very cool. Sammy, you're up.
Yeah. So the two things that I brought out, this one I got at the county center card show. There's a guy who was set up who had these bunch of oddball stuff, and I absolutely loved that table. And he wasn't really there to I don't think he had much emphasis or interest in keeping that stuff around. Like, he was ready to make deals on it. And so I saw this sitting around, and because I love the 51 Connie Mack Topps All-Star set. There's the 1986 replica of the baseball card magazine. And so what I've gathered from this is it's a replica design. The Doc Gooden they used the Connie Mack 51 Topps All-Star for Doc Gooden. And but different players have different designs. So, for example, like Wally Joyner has the 51 Topps. What is the red back cards, or
like the game cards.
Game cards, yeah. So I grew up a huge Doc Gooden fan growing up, and I got a chance to meet him. I have this really cool replica statue I've never seen two of before. And I got it autographed. And so next time, if I get a chance to see Doc Gooden, I want him to sign this. But nevertheless, it's a really cool set. They're obviously not priced ridiculously, because you can get these pretty easily. Probably could find these, no problem. And on the back, it just has some statistics about obviously his incredible rookie year where he took away the Cy Young, and just incredible year. And the other card that I'll show is Nolan Ryan first annual collector's edition of the Ralston Purina Company. And
I got dog food later.
Well, for me, initially, I thought this was like a cat. I thought it was like the cat food, but no, it's actually it was the cereal company Purina. And my understanding is with this card, if this is from the 1984 set, if I'm not mistaken, is this was in either marked boxes of Purina cereal, or it could have been unmarked boxes. They're supposedly inserted in them, but I don't know for sure. I know these also came in packs, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, it's just a cool little card. Obviously you could find these really easily. Probably find these in like dollar bins, but yeah, good looking Nolan Ryan representing the first edition of the Purina cereal company.
That's awesome. That's hilarious.
Yeah,
good
fun
stuff.
start.
Who's up? Me? I will. So I kind of followed the theme of Greg. Tried to pick out stuff that meant something to me, and it's all, like I said earlier, it's all been on my channel at some point in time or another. And I'll show two quickly here. So this first one I got for Father's Day from my wife this year. So this is my 1983 Topps Mike Singletary rookie. Obviously, I'm a huge Bears fan, if you don't know. But I had this ungraded, and she took the time to actually go to our local card show or card store and pick out a couple cards. And this is one of the cards she picked out. She did an awesome job. So I thought that was very cool. So it's in a Beckett 7.5. Not that I care, but it's a beautiful card. And then the last 80s that I'll show is I've shown this a couple times. This is my 88 Flair Michael Jordan. I bought this when I was 15 or 16 in 88 or 89 at a card show. When card shows were at the small hotels, I was at a Holiday Inn baseball card / comic show, and I bought it ungraded. And when I got back into the hobby in the last 2 to 3 years, I sent it to SGC and I got an 8. So I was pretty thrilled. This is my oldest Jordan, not for long, but is currently my oldest Jordan that I have. So.
Do you plan on trying to get an older Jordan at the National, or is?
Probably not this go around. So the Nationals all dependent on what my budget is, Sammy. And
Yeah.
My budget initially was going to be much larger than I'm thinking it's going to be now because life has happened. So depending on what my budget is, I don't know how big of my big card's going to be. I think I was kind of hunting for bigger cards like Greg, you and I have talked. I was actually looking at the 54 Banks, possibly looking at the 53 Satchel Paige. I was actually even looking at a Colgan's Cy Young possibly, but I don't know if the budget's going to allow that. So I might just be fulfilling some of my needs, my 56 Hall of Fame run, my 59 Hall of Fame run, maybe my Nellie Fox run, some I can still, kind of feel active and get some stuff done and not buy huge stuff, but we'll see how it goes. So
Very cool. Just catching up. All right, Dan, bringing you on.
All right, so this one is a debut. I've never shown this on my channel before. As you can see, my channel is called Baseball PC, but I do have some basketball.
Oh, yeah.
And so one of my favorite players of all time, absolutely remember him as a little kid, watched him play, and now he's the broadcaster for the Knicks. Mm-hmm. And they say never meet your heroes because they'll disappoint you. But this guy, I met him at the signing of this card, and he was absolutely delightful, not just to me, but to everybody. And it was a signing at a memorabilia store out on Long Island in I think it was Hicksville. And so Walt Frazier, the store handled it really well. They got a whole nice, group of a line. It was done well. When you got to the point where you could see Clyde, you could hear him talking to everybody, and everybody was so nice to him, and he was so nice to everybody else. So sometimes you can meet your heroes. This is an Icy Bear card. It's 1972 Icy Bear, and the weird thing about that, an Icy Bear was I guess it was like a Slurpee kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so this isn't actually an authorized card because they had a contract with the NBA for one season, 1972. And I got this card for, I don't know, $10. Brought it, Clyde signed it, and then got sent it off to PSA. I didn't get it graded. I just got them to say that it's not trading card. It says 1972 Icy Bear. And I knew it was an authentic signature because I was there for it. Also, beautiful signature. As you can see.
Yes,
very clean.
So this one is displayed up there. You can't really see it because my head's usually in the way. But debut for your channel, Sammy, is my wonderful Icy Bear signed Walt Frazier from 1972.
Well, I'm sure that Andrew appreciates it as well because him and I are the only ones who really enjoy basketball.
Oh, I love it.
I've got a ton of basketball.
I know, I love it.
I say that jokingly, of course. I know there's a bunch of people that appreciate it, but anytime I've done any sort of basketball videos, it flatlines.
Yeah,
that is correct. That is
That's
correct.
true.
I've done a few.
That's true. Walt Frazier signing at the National this year too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of bringing. I have a complete 1971 Topps basketball set.
It's a great set.
I have a few other basketball cards, but that's it. That's all I have. I'm thinking of bringing the 71 to have Clyde sign that also, because that would be a nice follow up for this for the Icy Bear. But anyway,
Andrew wants to know if you have the Pistol Pete from that set. If there was there one?
Yeah, there's a Pistol Pete from that set. There's
there's a Chamberlain in there.
Yeah. It's a good set. The only one I have is Clyde.
I know you guys might find this kind of shocking, but I think Mangini has a few of them. I believe I saw a video where he had some Icy Bears, if I'm not mistaken. He can chime in if he's in. So.
Well, there he is.
Yeah, I've got a lot of 71s and 72 basketball. I love those. I love those years.
The tall boys. Yeah, the tall boys are great.
All right, is it me?
It's
You, sir.
man.
So I'm going to go backwards here for 90s, and then I can also continue to monopolize time and go 70s. My 70s will be fast. So, I've gotten some really nice stuff over time. But one of the things that hit me the hardest that I was given is this card right here. It's a 1991 Upper Deck Ozzie Smith, and the card obviously doesn't have a ton of monetary value, but the letter that was written to me, I want to read it really fast, and I promise I'll be fast because it really hits home. I'll get to some of the more appropriate things, but my father passed away in April of 2022 at the age of 84. He was a lifelong St. Louis Cardinals fan, and as far back as I can remember, he would watch every single game on TV. He had been born and raised in New York City, but fell in love with the Cardinals when they beat the Dodgers in '46 and went on to play the Red Sox in the World Series. He told me about the famous mad dash of Enos Slaughter to win that series. He was hooked as a Cardinals fan from there on. For the rest of his life, he would tell me stories about his heroes like Johnny Mize and Stan Musial. He had me late in life. I'm 44 years old. But I remember in 1991, he took me for the first time to a card shop. He bought me a set of 1991 Upper Deck baseball and a Beckett price guide with Ken Griffey Jr. on the cover. He would take me to card shows from time to time. There were eras where I was really into collecting, and then I let it go for a few years. Life got in the way, and eventually my card binders just lived in a box in my garage. Fast forward to 2023. My father is now gone a year ago, and I was looking for anything of his just to remember him by. That's when I found my old binders and my Beckett price guide. Suddenly, all those memories of him taking me to the card shops, going to card shows, hearing his legendary Cardinals' great moments and history tales came rushing back. Long story short, I started collecting again. I started watching YouTube videos on the hobby. I couldn't get enough of it. That's when I stumbled onto you. I've learned so much about cards from you. I don't know how to thank you enough. I would love to talk to you about how going to shows with your dad and things like that. Cherish those memories. Enclosed is a card from the actual set that my father bought me in 1991. I would be honored, truly honored, if you kept that in your collection. I love that card because of the amazing smile Ozzie Smith has in that photo. My dad had that type of smile. It would it would light up a room. In return, if you don't mind, could I have a copy of your T206 Graig card? Thank you so much for everything that you do. It means a lot. I really appreciate the love, time, and effort you put into your videos. So that's from the set that his dad bought him the first time he went to a card shop, of the figure player of his dad's favorite team with his dad's smile on it. And he pulled that card out and gave it to me. There's not much more you could do for me. You could give me a very expensive card that would not mean more to me than the card that James gave me here.
Jeez, he got screwed on that trade, Greg. God, the letter alone, you don't even need the card from him. The letter is enough. My goodness.
So thanks for listening to me read the whole thing, but it like, even now it gives me the chills, and it gets me kind of lumped up a little bit when I start thinking about it, because it's just such a honor that somebody would give me a card that had that many levels of meaning to it for him. So with that, the second thing I wanted to show, which is also a very cool item, and Jason, I don't know if you were watching my channel or have seen this episode, but this was gifted to me. This is a live ink handprint of Gale Sayers.
I have not. I didn't see that episode. That is awesome.
So Gale Sayers did. Let's see here. It's turning.
Yeah, you're not going to.
Gale Sayers. This is him holding up his hand with ink on it. and it's from 1992 that it was done. And this company did it, and there were 1,000 of these made. And I've been meaning to get it framed, and I haven't yet. So it's a lot. It's Gale Sayers ink handprint. Then he signed it, numbered to 1,000.
That is awesome. So he's got a ton of special meaning to me, Greg. So not
Oh, I
only-
know. That's why I said. Yeah.
Not only was he a Chicago Bear, he went to the University of Kansas, and I've got a huge affiliation with the University of Kansas, which is why I always break Chris from Missouri's chops, because he's from Missouri and can't stand the Jayhawks. But he was the legend at Kansas, and he was a legend in Chicago. My brother had the opportunity to meet him. I never got the chance to meet him, but he signed quite a bit locally.
He was vintage football. He's my guy. And I have the complete Sayers run of his base stuff, and I also have some of his non-base stuff. When Brian's song came out, I was in 5th or 6th grade, and we watched it at school, and I was all in on Gale Sayers from that point forward. And he's just one of these guys that, like, the way that he carried himself and the type of human that he was, like, I'm just a big Gale Sayers guy. And so, in fact, that was maybe the second thing anybody ever sent me. And I called the guy, like, right there on the spot. I dropped everything. I went outside, talked to him for like an hour, and it was just like,
that's
an amazing,
incredible piece. Yeah,
amazing. Both of those gifts are amazing.
Yeah.
Now, the third thing I'm going to show, this is my 1970s item. So when we originally talked about doing this, we talked about doing some food issue stuff. Right. And I know Dan's been showing some food issue stuff because of that. I don't have a ton of food issue stuff, but I do have some Cheerios cards that my boy Mookie gave me.
I remember that video
of the Muppets. I got Kermit and I got Fozzie Bear.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing: is I haven't told this whole story. I told the story one time that I'm one of the only people that's ever had a real conversation with a Muppet. So when I was in college, growing up, I was a huge Muppets guy. The Muppet Show was the show. Like, sure. As a little kid, that was like the best thing. So what happened was I continued to love the Muppets growing up. And when I was in college, I wanted to do an internship. So I was going to college on the central coast of California at a school called Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, actually where Ozzie Smith went. And so I did an internship at the Jim Henson Company in Hollywood. So I moved down to LA, lived in LA. Actually, I lived about 5 minutes from where Mike Petty lives. And I commuted down to Hollywood, and I got to see all the recordings, behind the scenes stuff. I met the writers. I worked in the marketing department. It was like this amazing experience. And so, the way that I was treated there and the way that that company is run and stuff just made me love the company even more. And so I've talked several times about how I'm a big Muppet person, and I have a lot of Muppet cards and Muppet paraphernalia and stuff. And I actually have a Gonzo autograph, believe it or not. And you say, how could you have a Gonzo autograph? Right? Well, what happens is their PR department. So the marketing department's in Hollywood, the PR department's in New York.
Okay.
So they have 3 offices: Hollywood, New York, London. So what they do is, if you write away for an autograph, they send it to the PR department in New York. And when the puppeteers are in town, the puppeteers sign the autographs for the puppets that they do. So wow. Gonzo is done by a guy named Dave Groltz, and he signs them. So like, Frank Oz, you guys probably know Frank sure. Oz. He did guys in Star Wars, and he's directed and stuff. He does Miss Piggy. So when Miss Piggy signs as Miss Piggy, it's Frank Oz that signs it. It's not a puppet. So I actually have an autograph of Gonzo, and it signs the great Gonzo. I'd show you, but that one's in my classroom. I have it up in my classroom to show my students. So
That's fantastic. That
yeah.
is
So
fantastic.
sorry I went long. I know I'm long-winded.
No,
but
you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah, you went a little far, but it's okay. We'll.
that's not too bad. Now Steve Whitmire.
Start the beer.
Steve Whitmire was the voice of Kermit at the time after Jim Henson died because he did Kermit.
Yeah.
Steve Whitmire did it, and I met Steve Whitmire. I was in the same room and watched Steve Whitmire do it. I went over. They had all the puppets one time on a table as they were recording, and I just went over and I was like playing with them. I was like, I'm probably gonna get in trouble for this, but I get to hang out and like just pick up a Kermit, like the Kermit, like this is Kermit right here. I'm like playing with it, and I was just waiting for him to yell at me. So,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Why are you putting your hand right up?
That's actually not bad. That's not bad.
I would say so. I would say so.
Goodness, that tops the Mangini impersonation, Sammy.
No, we're not going to go there. I committed to not doing my Mangini impersonation until we get to the national.
That's fantastic.
Oh man, I think Orlando's right. Drank an entire beer during this short winter.
Yeah.
Not quite. I still got maybe 25-30% left.
That's why we love Graig, because I can. I should have got my second one during that.
No,
you knew what you were getting yourself in.
You had me locked into the story, though.
No, that was a great story, and that's really cool, man. All right, so let me bring myself over.
I am gonna get a beer while Sammy's chatting, though.
That sounds good. I'm gonna jump over to the 70s stuff. I'm not the world's best at being able to research like fun facts about cards on the fly, and so I didn't have enough time to do so. But I did want to continue with the food trends, and so this one was gifted to me by I always call him Milford Tom. Tom is a guy that just loves to give Tom Seaver stuff to me because he has so much of it, and so he was at Trumbull last weekend, but this one was given to me a while back from him, and he's always gracious, always nice. And that is the disc of the Tom Seaver 1976, if I'm not mistaken. The sweet, I'm going to pronounce it wrong, hope maybe not, Isleys, Sweet Isleys disc, or Sweet William Family Restaurants. And so it's a cool little, obviously they did not get the approval to put the Mets logo on the hat. So it's an unofficial item, but it's just like a nice little fun collectible that I thought was that Tom brought out. Oh, look at that. Greg's got one too. Does it have the same back?
I've got Reggie. I've got a few of them.
It has the same back as well?
Yeah,
yeah, man, that's cool.
Yeah. Got a Nolan Ryan.
Oh, yeah.
They had similar regional stuff here in the 80s. Jay's Potato Chips. So that was another one. Very similar.
Excuse me. The second item, I actually bought this at the Garfield show. I bought this off of a dealer friend of mine named Chris. He sets up every now and then, and he had this in a bargain bin box for like $20. I thought it was or 25 or $20. Can't remember. It was a fun card. I think Dan's gonna be showing one in a bit.
Yep.
Yeah, this is the I want to say 70, if I'm not mistaken.
That is 70.
Yeah, the 70 Seaver, and I thought it looked really nice in the condition that it's in. It's not cracked, which is always nice. These have a tendency to get cracked really easily if they're not treated well. So once I popped this into the card saver, I just kind of left it in there. So it's if I'm not mistaken, are they the Dan? Can you tell me if they are the Kellogg's cards? Or are they?
Yes.
I mean, yeah,
that is Kellogg's 1970. That card, I've tried to get that card. It's a little bit elusive. Seaver's more expensive than some of the other Hall of Famers in that set.
That's surprising. I figured that he wouldn't be up there as much because of. It's not once he get past his rookie year, his cards don't go for a whole lot.
Yeah,
but
that's a good-looking year. 70's a good-looking year. Too.
Yeah, but the only thing about it is he's looking very suspicious in the face. So, but those are my two cards I just wanted to show from the 70s.
Excellent.
Yeah, just some fun choices.
Fun stuff.
Bring it over back to Jason.
All right, so I'm 70s. I'll show my stuff, and then because again, most of it's been on. This one has a particular strong meaning to me. So this was before I even started my channel. And I was lurking, watching a bunch of different channels and learning about YouTube and learning all about vintage baseball. And I hooked into Sammy's channel, and he had a contest. And when I was full-blown lurking, I actually won one of Sammy Thunder's contests.
Oh
before
man,
had
I
a
forgot
chance.
about that.
Yeah, so that is my 71 Johnny Bench that I won from Sammy Thunder.
Nice.
Yeah, how long ago was that, Sammy? I don't know.
I don't know. I must have been before the.
It was a
can't
while
remember.
ago. It was a while ago. So
Maybe it was the 1,500 subscriber. I can't remember.
yeah, but yeah, so that's my one and only win. I don't enter a lot of the contests, so I don't have a lot of chances to win. But that was my one and only win with Sammy. And
Nice.
then I'll show all my 70s stuff because if you can't hear, my dogs are barking right now. So this is my 1970 Roberto Clemente. I love these things. These are not the Giants, but the I'm sorry, I'm losing track of what the heck I'm even calling them now. The Supers.
Yeah.
So 1970 Super. I bought this when I was 12 years old off of a guy. Got a whole shoebox of cards from him and bought the whole shoebox for $5. So I've shown these on my channel. They have quite a bit of wear. I've got the Mickey Mantle and a few others, but I absolutely love them. I think they're awesome images, and images mean the most to me as far as cards. If I'm attracted to the image, the condition, as you can tell, doesn't mean a whole heck of a lot to me. So, and then my last one, this will be real quick. It's my Goose Gossage rookie card, and what this means to me is this is part of my Sox Hall of Fame rookie card run, and this was the year I was born. And Goose Gossage's rookie card, so not a whole ton of meaning to that one, but I thought I'd show that as well. So, oops.
Talk about autographs. Goose Gossage is one of the cleanest autographs.
Yeah, it has a beautiful
Oh
signature.
God,
Absolutely
penmanship.
beautiful signature.
Probably one of the best penmanship.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard Darren return to collecting story about Goose Gossage?
No.
He's now I feel like I just teased it. And I feel like I got to say it. It ended up with them. I don't want to give it all away, but Darren, I think is in the chats. He ended up at Goose Gossage's house playing catch with him, and he went home with his minor league jersey signed to him.
That's insane.
Next time Darren's on or something, you'll have to ask him. It's insane.
He's
It's
got to do a
insane.
big on that.
They met him at a bar. He was hammered. They went back to his house for he was pitching to them or something.
Wow.
That is phenomenal. Oh, and I did have to shout this out to my good friend Mangini again, because I know when he was busting out nunchucks about a year ago, he was listening to the greatest band of all time. So I have switched to my Rush amber or pale ale beer. So this is Rush, my favorite band in the world. That's for you, Mr. Mangini. So.
And what do you say about his company? What you say about
That's
society?
a tough one to imitate. You can pull off a Getty. That's impressive.
Oh yeah, That's one fun fact is that I was a singer in many bands in the past.
Really? Oh, I want to hear
Yes.
about that.
Oh,
I want to hear about that.
I toured the country in my 20s.
Really?
Yeah, but that's not. I'll say
Oh,
that.
that's, I want an
What
in-depth
kind of
on
band
that.
was it?
is that?
It was oh god, it was more like a hard rock style band
Okay.
back in the early, I don't know, mid 2000s, 2005, 6 and 7 time frame. Anyway, that's another story.
I want to hear that. But like
I'll
Dan,
share
it's
I'll
Dan
share it at
Dan's
the
up.
national.
Yeah, let Dan rip.
Yeah, Mookie's right. I was in Chubbawamba. There you go.
Did you get knocked down?
Yeah, that's how I buy my baseball cards, from the royalties from that song. Anyway, yes, I love Rush. I wish I could have seen them with Neil Peart, but unfortunately, sad.
I saw him 7 times. So
But I've seen Tool, and I was seeing with Danny Carey. Anyway, I don't want to.
Danny Carey is incredible. Actually played at the University of Kansas at a basketball game while my daughter was at the game.
That's
So,
pretty cool.
I've seen 2 or 3 times. But all right, let Dan go. Dan is up. Dan is up.
Let's go, Dan.
All right, so beer. We're back to beer. This is my second one. If you know my channel, you know I'm a big Brooklyn Dodgers fan. So here's a Brooklyn beer. KCBC stands for Kings County Brewing Collective. And they have this crazy artwork on all their beers. And they're a really high-end craft beer. So they do an IPA. As you can see, it's called a hazy IPA because you can't see through it. It's dark and yellow and murky and everything else, and it's fantastic.
And they're like 8 or 9% alcohol, aren't they? Typically, the IPAs
I
carry
think it's about 6.5.
6.5. That's a very cool can. That's an awesome.
So we're on a that was the beer here, the cards. I told you I would get a Mercer with the Yankees hat. So this is, as Sammy said, the 1970 Kellogg's. These came in your cereal backpack with they didn't come naked. They were in a little plastic sleeve, so the cards could come in pretty good condition. Problem is they curled a lot and they cracked a lot, but Mr. Seaver is not cracked. And I got another one, which is Don Mincher, the all-time leading home run hitter for the Seattle Pilots. He hit 25 in 1969, the only year the Pilots existed. And I got this card recently, and it graded a 7.5, which is nice. I'm going to be doing a Seattle Pilots show on my channel with the #1 Seattle Pilots collector in the world, Tim Jenkins. That's coming up pretty soon. And I see Mark Hoyle's in the chat. Mark's good friends with Tim, so that's a good one. Should I go into 60s or?
Yeah, you can spin us into 60s, and then we'll just and then Greg can go into 60s.
Yeah, that works fine.
I have two cards. They're both dedicated to two friends of mine in the hobby who have been very influential to me. The first one is the 1960 Bell brand, which is a potato chip company from the West Coast.
Love it.
Such a cool card.
Love it.
This one is it's in bad condition. It's a 1, and it obviously deserves to be a 1. But this is dedicated to Brett Grable, who is a friend of ours. Sammy also knows him from West.
Good guy. Good guy.
Who, I've gone to multiple shows with him. I've run into him at shows. I even set up at a show once with him, and he's taught me a lot about how to approach doing shows. He's a grinder, meaning, and I mean that in a good way. He doesn't gloss by tables. He doesn't. He goes for the stuff. He's a real sort of get into the boxes, get your nose into the boxes kind of thing. And the only reason I have this card is because he got his nose into some boxes, and I pulled this one out, and it was like $10, graded a 1. But in this condition, it's probably, I don't know, $50 to $75 card, but it's staying in my Koufax collection for now. And this one I've shown on the channel before. This was a gift to me at Strongsville by one of the best guys in the hobby. I think we can all agree.
I gave that to you? Oh, my bad.
Matt from The Card Story.
Oh, yeah.
So
he's cool. He's way better than me, actually.
So Matt is a terrific guy, but he's also somebody who has such a level of calmness, and he's really has this. What's the word for it? He's even keeled, and I can be up and down. And when I'm with Matt, and when I talk to Matt, and when I text with Matt, he's a calming influence for me. But not only that, he gave me this card. So,
so he's very level, but he's an awesome gift giver.
Awesome, very awesome, generous gift giver. Which and of course he's running the house that Jason and I are in.
Yep.
So at the National. So dedicated to Matt, great friend, great hobby guy, and I'm hoping to bring some gifts to him this time. So.
And he's a Spawn collector too, isn't he?
Yes, that's how we met, basically.
Yeah.
This is the bazooka card. So there's your food connection.
I got a Spawn card coming in a little bit here.
I got to actually have Sportscaster Spawn for him because I think he mentioned he doesn't have that one, so I'm going to bring that for him.
Nice.
But yeah. So Mangini's desperately asking me to do the impersonation because his wife wants to see it.
I thought he was banging on us for using the word Strongsville.
Oh yeah, he's also saying that there weren't enough Strongsville videos. Maybe we can have more next year.
But I mean, there are a million national videos too. I mean,
Right.
it's just part of the deal.
Strongsville video is my #1 video for views. It's like 5 views short of 2,000. And 500 is a good amount of views for me, and that's one.
It's funny. I actually went back and watched a bunch of the Strongsville videos not that long ago, and I was watching yours, and I was like, "Oh, look, I'm in there. There I am."
You're right. I watched yours,
I'm famous.
Yours, Greg, about a week ago. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Jason
Sammy, you're
did
going to
that
do
one,
the
and I called him by the wrong name.
I think Greg is next.
Okay.
Okay, so next gift I was given. These are actually really cool. So some 1960 and 61 J Publishing photo packs of the Giants, the San Francisco Giants. Now, the first one here is Willie McCovey. Now,
Ooh, I
this one
love
is
that.
especially cool because this is Willie McCovey's 19. This is from 1960,
Oh, that's
and
cool.
we know it's in 1960. So a lot of these were sold at the ballparks, and then you could mail away for them. But the font that was used helps you to date when they were. So this is the thicker font from then. So we know that this is either 59, 60, or 61. And then McCovey was not in the 59 or the 61 set. So it has to be from the 60. So this is his rookie year photo pack, which is really awesome. The photo packs, I got the whole team set. So it does have the maze
You don't say.
from 60. It's got a little bit of tape there, and it's got a little bit of tape on the back. But, I mean, other than that, I mean, it's crease-free. It's beautiful.
This was
And then
gifted to you, Greg?
These were gifted to me.
Jeez.
Everything I'm showing tonight was gifted to me. And then this is another maze. This one has a couple Mookie pinholes, pinhole there, here. But that was included. And then from 1961, it has Juan Marichal.
Oh, man,
so this is a Juan Marichal rookie.
Oh, that's so sick.
I've thought about sending them in, especially these two. I've thought about sending them in just so they're protected, because like they're, these little top loaders they're okay, but I don't know, they seem flimsy and stuff. So I thought about sending them in just because it would be like the best protection for them, and they're so cool. I'm like, a rookie Marichal and McCovey photo pack is pretty amazing. And then I mean the rest of the set, I have the whole set from 60 and 61. I mean, there's Orlando Cepeda's in here. There's an Orlando Cepeda. There's a Felipe Alou. I mean, it's they're really, here's the Alou. The Alou brothers up in Northern California are big time. And another Cepeda. Cepeda's still alive. In fact, I'm setting up at a card show this weekend, and the last time they hosted this show, Cepeda was there because he lives in that town. He lives in Northern California still, and he still signs. So I was looking, I was like, is he going to sign? Because if he's going to sign, I don't know. Part of me is like, I don't want to ruin it, but it's still, Orlando Cepeda's autograph. So, but it does have tape on it, but I thought that was pretty awesome.
I think that'd be cool on there with the black and white photo.
I think so too.
Yeah, and
you know how I feel about
if it's already got the tape on it, so you already know if you're concerned about Graig.
I will say this much though. I mean, listen. I mean, grading for just to have him slabbed is, it's just a number. But when I was going to submit I had the Seaver face card that I have, and the Nolan Ryan, I was going to submit those. Those are like, oversized. Unfortunately, SGC would probably slab them in the gigantic ones. Right. I don't know if you're going with PSA or SGC, but SGC was going to charge like, I think 50 or 60.
They charge a lot for oversized stuff.
Yeah, so I wasn't inspired to do it then, but I mean, especially for the Juan Marichal and the Willie McCovey, those warrant a slab for that, because
I agree.
They're so tough. I imagine those are tough to find.
I have some other photo pack stuff that was also from the same person. This guy's name is Phil, and he sent me two packages, and one package had these Giants team sets, and then he sent me another one that's got some pretty cool stuff, which I'll show you when we get to the 40s.
Okay.
Awesome. Very cool.
Jason, I'm going to bring you back.
Okay. What are we on? 60s?
I don't know if the beer is starting to kind of just short time a little bit.
So a recent purchase for me, and the reason it means something to me personally is it was a local show here in Chicago, and I got to go with Mitchell, White Sox fan and card collector, and I also got to go with Steve from Vintage on Vintage. So the three of us got to go to a local show, and I had an absolute blast. Had lunch with Steve after that. I met Steve. Get ready for this, Mangini. in Strongsville. So we were in Strongsville. And
He's good people, man. He's good
yeah,
people.
and he's just a great guy.
Yeah.
And, I picked this up at that show. So it's 62 banks and a 6.5. Beautiful card. He picked up a ton of stuff and did a video on it. This was like my big purchase. And then I picked up some smaller stuff. And then basically, I didn't have a lot of like personal stuff from the 60s. Got the 66 cot, and this was bought at last year's National with the leftover money after I bought my 56 mantle. I bought this and found this at the Got Baseball Card booth. So this has kind of got a special meaning because it was last year's National. And then last but not least, Sammy is the transagram man. I am becoming the Aurora Vision guy. So this was my 64 Mickey Mantle Aurora Vision that's got me on that kick, and I am having a blast purchasing these and collecting this whole set. It's absolutely so much fun for me, and it's inexpensive. I'm like having as much fun as if I pick up a $12 Aurora Vision. I'm having as much fun as if I picked up like a $150 56 tops. I just think they're awesome. So I'm really pumped about completing that set and having a blast with that. And you guys have seen, I've probably showed this 3 or 4.
Yeah, the backs are great.
Yeah, and this one's in really good shape. So
does that one still have the what do they call it? The pop out?
Yeah, the middle.
Still
Yeah,
there.
so
That's great.
yeah, all of mine will have. I prefer not to have that popped out. So all of them that I purchased will have that in the middle. So
Warren is very upset.
I thought meeting you was for certain. My brother from another mother, of course. Yeah, Warren was my highlight. What am I saying?
All right, so I lost track of who's next. I think it's. Well,
Did we skip you, Sam? I think we.
I think we might have.
Yeah, you're 60s.
The beer is kicking in. So all right, it's just I'm gonna break protocol here, and I have 2 cards to show. I will do one in a Dylan voice and the other one in a Mangini voice, just to shut Mangini up. So the first one will be, hey, you know what I like to do sometimes when, sometimes I like to pull basketball cards out because I have a ton of baseball cards, and this one, just I found it in a display case, and just this guy just was hiding it in there, and I was like, I have to have it, and it looked great. And Bill Russell, 1961 Fleer. It's
Awesome.
Great set. It features a lot of great Hall of Famers too. Elgin Baylor, Jerry West, just a lot of great guys. But I think the Bill Russell stands alone in terms of. There's Wilt Chamberlain, of course, but let's be real. Bill Russell was the better player.
Amazing card, Mangini. Amazing card.
I don't know. I'm going off the cuff here. I really don't know if John believes Bill Russell was the better player than Wilt Chamberlain. I guess when we get to the National, we're going to have a conversation going back and forth and discuss whether or not this is true. I need to get to know the real Mangini a lot more. So hold on. I'm gonna grab my friend Double D Vintage Baseball Cards to go over the second card. Hold on a second. Hey guys, so what I have here, check this out. 1967 Mets postcard. Tom Seaver at Shea Stadium. What I really like about this card, you got the Rheingold beer in the back, the Mets logo, and Tom Seaver by himself. The Mets logo on the back. Great card. I have to work on that one a little bit.
I love that one. I love that one.
But all right, everybody happy? Good. Let's continue. Let's go back to normal. Keep this civil. Mangini. All right, so Mangini admitted Bill Russell is better. Good.
What was I missing in the chat that we had to keep it civil?
No, not that. I'm just talking about just keeping our natural voices and not going into impersonations. All right, so anyway, Dan
is on 60s, yeah.
So it is Dan's vintage baseball. So this is Dan D.
Ooh,
awesome card.
potato chip company that was dumb enough to put the cards right into the potato chips instead of putting them in sort of a protective coating. So a lot of these cards have grease stains and stuff on them. So this is Bob Feller, of course.
Oh,
I
that's
got this
beautiful.
card in
Yes.
Philadelphia, the Philly show. I don't know, about 4 years ago. Price has gone up because it's it's a Hall of Famer, a very major Hall of Famer, 4, which is a hard number to get in these cards. So happy with that guy. Picked this up from a friend of mine recently in a whole Monty Irvin ball that I got. This is Monty Irvin in the Dandies.
Oh, that's
Also a great card. This photograph is used in a different card also from that same era.
It's used in the Stallmeyer.
Stallmeyer, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then great underrated Negro League player who came to Cleveland and had some tremendous years, but he was older, so he wasn't able to hang on and become a Hall of Famer in the major leagues. But Luke Easter, certainly a fantastic player. This card was criminally underpriced. I think it cost me $30.
Really?
Dandy
Wow.
in a 2, and it's a good 2. So
Don't tell Scott that.
yeah. So that's my dandies. I've got more cards from the 50s when we come around to me next.
Sounds
Awesome
good.
cards. Those are awesome cards, Dan.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Mr. Midlife.
I'm in my 50s. I don't know what happened, but I just showed all those photo packs, so I don't know if I was leading it.
You
I
are
will.
now. You are
I
now.
will. We were talking about the Kellogg's cards, and then we were also talking about Gale Sayers, and I got gifted also this beautiful Kellogg's Gale Sayers.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
cool.
awesome.
So it's really, really nice. I thought about sending it in, but then I'm like, why? I'm not selling it, so who cares? But it's beautiful. So next one, my guy Darren sent this to me. So Darren asked me for my address, and then I've been talking about this card for a while and how much I liked it and how it was a card that I was like high on my list of something I wanted. And I know some guys make videos saying they don't think it's a good looking card. I think it's a gorgeous card.
I love it.
The 52 Warren Spawn.
yes.
It
Yeah,
beats
Scarecrow
four.
card.
It beats the 58 Brooks.
Yes, everything does.
And a black? Is that a black back or the red back?
It's a red.
Okay, nice.
That is what I dubbed the Scarecrow card. And I love it. Alex Bowman 53
I
does
think
not
it's
like
beautiful,
it.
and the color on the. I mean, the only reason this thing got a 4 is because of the centering. The color and the image on it are just perfect. The corners are fantastic. They're like 6 corners, so that centering just hammered the grade. But it is a beautiful card. So, Darren, if you're still watching, I haven't seen you comment in a minute, but thank you, my friend. That was a very generous gift.
That's right up my alley, though, Greg. And for me, fours and 50 cards
yeah.
all day long. I'll take them.
Nowadays, 4s and 5s in PSA holders are the 7s of yesteryear.
Yeah,
you know?
I'll take them all day long.
Dan is calling an audible. Mookie.
My Audible is going to be getting another one of these soon.
Attaboy. Attaboy.
All right, so Jason.
Oh, I'm up. All right, so I will show 3 quickly cards from the 50s, right? And all of these were gifted to me by my daughters. So
That's nice.
this was my oldest daughter. The first card she had got me to part of my 56 Hall of Fame run was my 1956 Nellie Fox. I got this for Christmas from her 2 years ago in a PSA 5. I don't even know what the grade was, but beautiful card. She knows I'm a White Sox fan. She knew I was collecting this set and did well enough to pick up this card for me. So that was awesome. And then I think she got this for me for my birthday. This again was my oldest daughter, and it's my 54 Bowman.
That's nice.
Roy Campanella.
That's a beautiful 4.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. I love the card.
Apparently raises kids, right?
So she had got me that. And then I'm helping them out, right? So sometimes they'll ask me, "What do you want, Dad?" And I'll send them 10 cards.
Send them a list.
Yeah, what's your budget? I'll ask them, "What's your budget?" They'll tell me what the budget is, and then I'll say, "Okay." And this card, I absolutely love it. I've shown it 1,000 times. My daughter bought it for my youngest daughter. Got this for me for Christmas, ungraded, and then I had it graded, and I absolutely love this card. It's the 1952 Billy Pierce, Bowman Billy Pierce. I just love this, and I sent it in. I think the budget for her, because she's still in college, I think we got this for right around $15 when she bought it. And then I had it graded, and it graded a 5, and absolutely love this card. It's one of my favorite all-time cards.
What do you think he's about to throw there?
I don't know. It looks like I'm looking at his fingers there. If he's on the seams,
They're together. Yeah, it's a curveball.
You think a curve?
Yeah, his fingers are together.
Wouldn't he be more on the side though if he was a curve? Like he's right down the middle of the ball.
Well, we don't know where the middle of the ball is.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I mean, even if it was that's got to be a curveball.
Right. But I just love that. I absolutely love it. It's probably one of my favorite cards.
Very underrated pitcher.
Yes, 100%.
Mookie was definitely not a pitcher.
Yeah, you were, Sammy. You should know what he's throwing by that grip. What was he throwing there?
You know, he had, as his fingers are together, I would say it's probably either a slider or a curveball, as everyone else is mentioning. But yeah, I mean, fastball, you have your fingers
like that.
Yeah, you would have them across. If you have a 4-seam, to me, if you would have it across the seams, and if you have a 2-seamer, well, it could have been a 2-seam fastball too, because then you would have your fingers together on the seams, or.
Right.
But yeah. But then again, I was throwing like submarine. That's how I got the name Sammy Thunder. Who got next?
It's you again, Sam.
I think it is you. We keep skipping you.
Okay. So these I've shown. I mean, the one I've shown relentlessly because I love the card so much. But I'll show the other one first. Just because I showed the Doc Gooden earlier, it's only right that I show a Connie Mack All-Star. And, of course, it's the guy I love collecting so much. It is the Christy Mathewson piece. Now, I'll try to keep this brief. The story behind this card was that I first bought one that was raw on eBay, and it looked great. And from the photos, it looked amazing. But when I got it, it sort of fell apart on me. So sadly, I said, hey, I thought this was in better shape, and I reached out and I asked about it, and they said it was still it was still together. And I sent it back. And I mean, listen, this is not to bash the seller, because I think the seller just had a situation where he had somebody working for him that responded on his behalf and said the card was fine. And so, but everything worked out. I did the refund, sent it back, all worked out. So then I went to the Philly show. I think the first Philly show that I went to, I saw this was in America's Pastime. Richard, I think his name is Richard. He runs the shop in Jersey. And he had this in his display case. And so I love this set. I love the way the set looks. I love perforated cards. And I don't care about the loss on the paper loss on the front. I care more so about the card being intact. And so this Christy Mathewson was one of my big pickups there. And it's a great set. I mean, for anybody that wants to not have to pay an a crazy amount of money on a card, like a star card, you can relatively get these for good prices. So, yeah, this was a good Mathewson pickup in my mind.
Very cool. Very cool.
That is one piece. And then the other one, of course, I've shown this like this was, at the time, this was going, I've been able to rebuild a nice budget for the National, again, based on card shows and whatnot. But this initially was completely killed it, but it was the right time. Of course, is the Stahlmeyer 54 Willie Mays, and Mookie is chatting with Greg and I, so I'm just getting notifications back and forth right now. So this one was one of the bigger pieces, and an opportunity just fell right in place. Brian Roth, Card Soup, however you connect with him. He tagged me in a post of a guy who was selling a bunch of Stahlmeyers, and I wanted this maze really badly. They don't come up too often. And fun fact, the Stahlmeyer was the official brand for the New York Giants, the New York Yankees, and the Brooklyn Dodgers in the 50s. If you got a hot dog at the game, it was a Stahlmeyer hot dog. And another fun fact, if you watch the movie 42, with it was
Chadwick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a scene right when he's about to make his debut with the Brooklyn Dodgers. They do amazing computer, CGI, and you could see a Stallmeyer booth where you can buy hot dogs from.
That's cool.
I thought it was pretty cool, and it just reminded me of this. So, nevertheless, I'm super glad I was able to add this to the collection, and it's even better that I was able to rebuild in a budget for something else at the National. But
yeah,
those are my two.
Otherwise you'd have been hanging out with John 3D80's kid.
Yeah, John and I, yeah, exactly, helping everybody else out.
Right.
But let me just say congrats to John to getting that Ruth. We were celebrating with him right at the moment when that auction was ticking down. And it was awesome that it was funny because John's reaction is exactly what I expected, very calm, collected, and everyone else was freaking out. Greg was freaking out, and I was freaking out, and we were like, oh my God.
I think I said it to you, every live that you've had where I'm on, I'm on till the duration. And I think that night you would ask me, hey, jump on. And I'm like, I'm already in bed. And I crashed even before. And so the next morning I'm like, damn it, man, this is the one that I don't jump on, and John's buying a Babe Ruth. I'm like, come on. So yeah, that was fantastic. Very cool stuff.
But I think I love John's reaction to it just because I don't know if it hit him until he got the card. I mean, the live stream you got that yesterday, everyone was sharing the Ruth cards, and I think John's just John is super chill and just he like internally probably just loves like the reaction is all internal,
right?
And so, but just also want to just give a shout out to John for really kind of knocking out of the park, no pun intended, with the with the Hobby Palooza, and just really did a good job. So everyone's saying John, Rick is saying John is the man. Absolutely. So
I think Rick on that live last night. I think on that live last night, Rick showed maybe 1 or 2 Babe Ruths, if I'm not mistaken, or 20, or 20. I think he did a video afterwards of my 20 Babe Ruths. So I'm like, come on.
He was like, well, I do my own video for this.
Right.
So let me go back to Spotlight. Yeah, hold on a second.
Oh, I love that card, Dan. I saw you flash it already.
So this is Drake's. I guess, I don't know. They make coffee cakes and a bunch of other food items. And in 1950, right, they made cards. So this is Earl Torgerson. And this cost me like almost $200.
Yeah.
Like Drake's are really expensive cards. I have been after the Spawn Drake's card, but it's just I asked a price at a show, and I think I was about to throw up in my mouth when the guy told me the price. But anyway, this is a 4.5, which is actually kind of a high grade for it. Earl Torgerson was first baseman for the 1948 Braves, so this fit in my 48 Braves collection. It's also a beautiful card. You see, he's got the patch on the shoulder, and he's catching the ball at first base. It's a cool card. Also, probably spring training because he's got some trees in the background. So that's a Drake's card. Speaking of Spawn, Johnston Cookies, the local cookies from the Milwaukee area. When they moved, this is 54. He also has a 53. But when the Braves moved to Milwaukee, they did it after spring training in 1953. So the first Braves cards with Milwaukee hats are the Johnston Cookies. This happens to be the 54, which is a 4, which is a pretty good grade for cookies. But these cards are like a longer, but it's a regular sized SGC holder. It's just longer card.
I like that.
And for Warren, Warren in Cleveland, I met in Cleveland. Super nice guy, and I have 2 more cards that I can dedicate to him. Flying hot dogs, more food.
Flying hot dogs.
This is the only flying hot dogs card that I have, and I got it in the Philly show from the great dealer Bill Chappell, who I hope to hit up at the National.
Bill Chappell's the man.
And so I got this. I walked in. In fact, I got it the day we were hanging out, Sam, with Mookie and Mookie's friend, whose name is
Pete, right?
Yeah. And so I was walking around saying, I don't know. I have this much money in my pocket. Let me walk around a little more. And then ultimately, I'm like, I'm going back to Bill Chappell and getting this freaking card. So
Yeah.
that's what happened.
And those are all fair. Those are all fairly expensive too, kind of like the Drakes.
Yeah.
They're not. I was
Yeah,
looking
this
at the
is,
98 box.
This is a 4. It's an old SGC holder. I think the way I got Bill to come down a little bit was by telling him it's an old holder and it's probably not a 4 in today's grading. It's probably like a 3. So one more card from the 50s. Sorry, Warren. This is the full panel Num Num. Num Num was a potato chip company from Cleveland who produced cards in 1952. And you can find these with the bottom or you can find them without the bottom. I have Larry Doby without the bottom. And this is a 2, but it's literally perfect. Like, look at the corners. They're literally perfect. There's no other problem, but it must have been in somebody's binder because you got these little like glue stains. So that's how it gets a 2, even though it's literally a perfect front. And that's the Bob Feller picture that they used in the photo packs, the team photo packs in like 48 and 49. So great Bob Feller photo, rare card. I've been after it for years. I got it, I think, in an REA auction for a really good price because it's a 2, even though it's perfect. So on the front.
Fantastic cards.
Bob Feller was always happy to be a ball player, it seemed. All right, Greg.
Okay, next up, I've got these. I think these things are pretty cool. This is an M114 supplement. If you look there in the front row, I put the little sticky so you could see it. That's Stan Musial, and this is from 1944.
Oh, wow.
So this is 4 years, but this is before he went into the Navy. This is before he served, and then before he came back and had a rookie card. So 1944 M114, and I'll zoom in there a little bit where you can see him. Yep. Obviously, there are some other really good players in there too, but it's one of the first youngest images you'll see of Stan Musial. So that was very cool.
Johnny Mize be on that?
No, he was traded already.
He was traded already? Okay.
Yeah. Also, nervous.
And then Dan was just talking about the photo packs. So there's a 1947. It's missing 2 people, unfortunately. One would have been pretty cool. This is a 1947 Cleveland Indians photo pack, still with the package.
We're killing Warren, man.
Now,
I know.
Now it
Warren.
doesn't have the Dobie. It didn't have the Dobie, and it didn't have Joe Gordon, but it has the rest. Now, this is, again, 47. You know that on the photo packs because of the images and then the placing of the autographs. So you were just mentioning Bob Feller photo pack. Yes, this is the 47 image from the photo pack.
That's awesome.
And again, you know it's the 47 and not the 48 because of the location of the signature right there. Yep. And then on the other side, this is pretty cool because this is Bob Lemon before Bob Lemon's rookie card. Wow. So Bob Lemon's rookie card is the 49 Bowman, I think.
Correct.
And so this is from 47. So it's a couple years before that. So this is, I mean, this one is actually the Bob Lemon's in really good shape. The Feller has a little bit of it. I mean, they're really, really nice. And it is, again, it's missing the Dobie, but it has the rest of the set, and the envelope is like literally borderline falling apart, but you can just see the condition of them. They're just phenomenal. So, yeah, and look at this one right here. I mean, there's a Lou Boudreau. I mean, it's like, just amazing stuff. So I definitely wanted to show everybody those.
That's awesome.
The Bob Lemon photo is the same photo that they used in his Red Heart from 54. That's the Red Heart photo. So I didn't know it was that old. It's old. It dates back to 47.
Yeah. And
that's interesting.
Again, when you look at them, like if you look up on like, trading card database or whatever, some of those are, when you're dating them, a lot of these photo packs use the same photos for 2 or 3 years. So you'll look at where the location of the autograph is. Like that's how you know it's a 47 pack, because like Bob Feller's in the 48. In fact, the 47 isn't even in. I looked it up on the trading card database. It's not even. They don't have an image of it, but the 48 is there, and the autograph is in a different location. Is how you know it's a different year.
Okay, that's cool stuff. And again, gifts.
Gifts.
Gracious.
Gifts.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Those were all gifted to me.
It's crazy.
How do we arrange to get gifts from our?
I don't know why people do that, but I certainly appreciate it because there's some amazing stuff.
Yeah.
And again, those are more things like it's like I feel like I should slab them, but then why am I spending all this money on plastic? Like
right.
So I don't know. I wish there was something better. I wish there was like a one touch or something for photo pack stuff and the different size things instead of, because that would be fantastic, but those don't exist. So the only way to protect them is to slab them, and then it costs a fortune.
You can custom frame them for the wall, but that would cost a fortune as well.
Yeah, then you got to float them and
right.
There's that whole thing.
All right, so moving on to pre-war, I believe now. Dan.
So 1947 Tip Top Bread is one of my new obsessions. I got this card gifted to me. It's Nelson Potter. He was a pretty solid pitcher in the 1940s for the Browns and the A's. But in 1948, he was acquired mid-season by the Braves and pitched really, really well and actually helped them win the pennant in 48. So that's a nice Tip Top Bread. It was a free card. I just got it graded because it fits into my 1948 Braves collection. But this is a premier card, Sam. I'm doing another premier card on your channel. This is absolutely one of my favorite cards right now.
Bringing the heat.
It's a 1947 Tip Top Bread.
It's got to be one of his earliest cards, right?
In a 3. Yeah, they call Johnny Mize has a 1936 R312, I think it is.
Okay.
It's like one of those like oversized paperish cards. He's also got 2 cards in the 1941 double play set.
I was just going to say,
Okay.
I know he had a double play.
Yeah, but this predates his official rookie card, which is the 48 Bowman. And it's in a 3. These Tip Top Bread cards are really almost always lower grade because they were also, I believe, put in the top of a loaf of bread, not, in no protective sleeve or anything. So I bought this card from a friend on Twitter for, I think, a really, really nice value, and fits right into my Mize collection and my Tip Top Bread collection. So more food items, more PC items, more Hall of Famers. Those
Fantastic card, Dan.
Yeah.
That card over your shoulder, Dan, I've been looking at all night. The 49 Bowman Spawn that you have.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorite cards.
Oh,
yeah.
Over,
it's over a little bit more, but show that card. That is one of the coolest cards.
There's so much glare. I don't know how you.
How did you see
you must have like beyond
Magic
perfect vision.
Show that thing. Oh yeah, love that card. Love that card.
3.5. I wish it would be a little higher, but it's a pretty good 3.5. I think a lot of the grade reduction is because it's a little off center, but the red, if you see it in person, the red is really, really bright.
See, to me, all those cards from, really 48, 49 to like 55, if they've got the deep color, like the 52 tops with the color, that's so much more important to me than the centering, because the centering was, we have to remember the quality control back then didn't even exist.
It didn't. And the machinery that was used to make these cards and cut these cards was night and day as to what happened.
Trash.
It was human beings.
It's just such a cool card. That's a card that if I came home with it at the National, I wouldn't be shocked. I just think I don't know what it is. He's known for that leg kick and
Yeah.
and that picture, that little picture, because those 49 Bowmans are small. It
Yeah.
captures the leg kick. It captures it in this little image, and it's still a tight shot though,
Right.
because it's his 50 or 51.
They both carry the
Yeah,
50
same
and the
image.
51
It shows
thing,
it, but it's so distant you can hardly see him.
right.
But this one, it's tight. You can see his face, and you get the leg kick. It's such a cool picture. Love that card.
Awesome.
That is fantastic.
All right, Jason, I'm going to bring it over to you.
All right, I went pre-war, right? Because actually, I don't think I have any 40s cards in my collection. I have a 39 would be the closest. So again, meaning to me, this is my very first ever T206 card, George Davis in an SGC3, Piedmont 150 back. Bought this, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago to kind of fulfill my Hall of Fame run of White Sox players, and started looking up his stats. Very solid player, 86 WAR roughly, and just was a strong player. And I think what you'll see is he would be like considered a second tier Hall of Famer, at least in the T206 set, obviously. But just a beautiful card, and this was my very first T206. So I think I said when I bought it and showed the video, more to come, and I've picked up a few more since. So.
In a lot of those years, a lot of years have softened, with the market coming down a little bit. But a lot of cards like that, those things haven't come down; they've gone up.
Right.
Those
your mid tiers and your
what T206 pre-war stuff. It's not even that it has to be like a mid-tier Hall of Famer or a Hall of Famer. Like, just a lot of stuff has softened, but a lot of that stuff that's softened is like late 50s, 60s. Stuff like that has not softened. It's as hot as it's been.
And I'm fine with that because 50s and 60s is still the bulk of my collection that I'm purchasing. So when I want to be well-rounded enough where I'm doing pre-war and everything. This is my next guy. I bought this ungraded as well. Bought this, I believe, off of William Chappell. And so this was 2 years ago, 3 years ago at a local show here in Rosemont where they have the National. And this was the first Gaudi that I bought.
What the heck?
I see someone's thumbing down Ted Lyons.
I'm thumbing up.
Oh, is it thumbs up?
That's a terrific grade for that card. Nice job.
Yeah, so I was pretty thrilled with it. Again, fulfilling my Hall of Fame run of White Sox players. This was actually the very first pre-war card I ever purchased. And then lastly, because again it's Strongsville, my Luke Appling 34 Gaudi rookie.
Oh yeah.
Wow, 4.5.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, and I got this at Strongsville, and actually,
You bought that raw, right?
no, I bought it graded at
Oh, you got it
Strongsville.
graded, okay.
Yeah, so really happy with that. So those are my 3 pre-wars. I got a few more back here if I got to whip them out. But, not a ton of stories behind them, so just fun stuff. So
This is very cool. Who's next on the pre-war?
Greg or you? You or
I have
Greg?
2 cards left.
You have what, Dan?
I have 2 cards left.
All right, I'm going to switch over to you then.
All right. So it's not really a card. Also, a premiere. I've never shown this on YouTube before, Sam. This is a 1934 Butterfinger Premium. So if you got a Butterfinger candy bar in 1934, in certain stores, they would give you a picture of a baseball player. And these are paper thin. And Greg is right. These top loaders are maybe not the best thing for them. But I haven't put this anywhere except all the way in the back of the display. And this is the great Hall of Famer Lloyd Wainer, the younger or the lesser brother of the Wainer brothers. But what I love about this one, besides the 1930s is screaming from this, is the glove right here with the ball in it. It's like this classic,
awesome,
puffy glove. So another food issue card, another premiere, and a beautiful Hall of Famer. So there's Lloyd Wainer.
I think Mangini showed his Ruth Butterfingers last night. They're just awesome. The premiums.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think Mangini left after I did the impersonation.
Oh, and I did want to. I did forget to mention. Yeah, I did forget to mention that if you hadn't had the chance to, Dave, Legends of the Dugout, uh,
Yes.
did a video like 2 days ago, 3 days ago, where he was interviewing a dealer that he knows who's going to the National,
Yep.
and he was showing some amazing. It had a complete set of Ramleys. I mean, just some
Oh,
amazing
Yep.
stuff.
that video was one of the best things I've watched all week.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about getting pumped for the National. So if for everybody in the chat, if you hadn't had a chance to see that, check out Dave's video, Legends of the Dugout. It was awesome. Very cool.
Should I do my last card?
Yeah,
go
I'm
for it.
sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, Dan. Go ahead.
No, I didn't know if we were going to somebody else. So American Caramel Company, 1922. I showed a bunch of these. What was it on? Oh, it was on the Hobby Palooza, where we got to see Mark Hoyle's amazing collection again, and John hosted it. But I didn't pull this one out. This is Rabbit Moranville. He's on Pittsburgh at this point, but I got him for my 14 Miracle Braves collection. And this is one of the ones that's out of 120 subjects. So American Caramel Company, it's a 2. I think it deserves a 2, even though it's an old label. So Hall of Famer, food issue, caramel, and it's not a premiere. I've shown this on my channel before, so sorry, Sam.
Still a great card. Still a great card.
Half the stuff I show is not premiere because my collection is small. So,
all right. So that's it for me. But I'm sticking around because I want to see more cards.
yeah, I'm sure we'll bring out more than just what we're showing.
All right, so my next one. So a guy who I've become good friends with reached out to me from watching the channel, and now I text with him and talk with him all the time. His name is David. A few months ago, my dog passed away, and I showed this just the other day. But my dog passed away, and like that has been really hard for me. And so he bought me as a gift. He bought me this card right here from the 33 Sport King set, made by Gowdy. This is, we believe, to be the only card of a major issue card with a man and his dog on it, and that is his lead sled dog. They ended up Disney made a movie on this dog, on this relationship between the man and his dog, named, I believe it was called Togo, a few years ago. And so he gave this to me after my dog had passed away, which, needless to say, was a very, very generous gift. Now, the Sport King set has 48 cards in it, and this is card number 48. So it's a very expensive card. You can see at the top there, 48. It's a very expensive card because, as we know, back then everything was done with rubber bands, and so the first and the last card were always thrashed. So it's hard to find it in nice shape, and quite frankly, I don't know how it's only a 4. It's a really, really nice copy of it. It's well centered, it's sharp, it's clean front and back. It's a beautiful card, and obviously one of the most thoughtful gifts that I've received in my entire life. So that is the first thing I wanted to show. The other card, I was trying to find some food issue stuff because I just don't have much food issue stuff. And actually, this came in the mail for me yesterday from a viewer named John. You'd probably recognize his username as Kryptonite if you've ever noticed Kryptonite. Yeah. And he recently found a box with a bunch of Sinella cards. So this is from the same Sinella margarine set that Babe Ruth is from, that a lot of us know of.
Oh, 32. Yeah.
Yes, 32 Sinella. And it is, this is Percy Ellis. Now, if you recognize that name at all, for years and years and years, if you watch the British Open, right, the Open Championship, the name of the announcer was Peter Ellis. This is his dad, who played in Ryder Cups and was won tournaments, was a really big time golfer. He knows that I collect golf cards, antique vintage golf cards. And so he sent this to me just a couple of days ago. I haven't even had a chance to thank him on my channel yet. So you'll see this again probably sometime next week of me giving him a little shout out for that. So
It's a cool piece.
yeah, very cool. So those are a couple cards from the 30s.
Very nice.
It's on you, Sammy. I'm gonna go grab another beer. I always duck out on Sammy. So
That's all right. It's all right. So first one I'll show is a T206 card that is not of a superstar Hall of Famer, but somebody that is known for his facial hair. Everybody's about to know what I'm talking about.
John Titus.
Mr. John Titus. Really, outside of his mustache, I mean, he was a decent player. I think he's in the top 100 of leading career-wise hit batsmen. Got hit a lot. So there's that about him. Played for the Phillies. Or not Phillies. Yeah, I think it was the Phillies at the time. I'd have to go back and check, but let's see. Yeah, played for the Phillies and the Boston Braves for a year. So, batted 282. That's what I'm looking at right now, and it's from Pennsylvania, so that was nice. And what the fun fact about Titus in particular is that now I don't know if this holds true, but since this card, there's not been another official card issued until 1971 tops with someone with facial hair.
Dick Allen.
Yep, you're right. That's Dick Allen.
When he was on the Dodgers.
So I thought that was really cool. And I don't know. I like stuff like this. And John Titus's story was always interesting to me. I like the handlebar mustache. And now I learned that he wasn't there's some older cards of some other players with some facial hair as well. So I can't say he was the only one. This one's a Piedmont back, so it's pretty common to find these, but nevertheless, they're desirable among pre-war collectors that want to have a
couple of things about Titus. One is that he has later cards, like I think he might even be in the Cracker Jacks with no mustache. He shaved off the mustache.
He did. Yeah.
And the other thing about Titus T206 is that even though he's technically a common, the card is expensive because of the mustache, which drives me nuts. I mean, I'd like to own John Titus because it's a cool card.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why.
Like, it's priced like he's a Hall of Famer.
I know.
In some cases more than if he's a Hall of Famer. Like exactly. That card, if you got it graded, that's probably like a $400 card, and you can get some Hall of Famers for in the threes.
Right.
Mookie's going nuts.
Nifty nose neighbor.
So that's my first pre-work card. I was only going to have two, but since everyone's been sharing three, so I figured we'll break it out a little bit. I didn't get a chance to really look too much into this set, but honestly, this one was more about the aesthetic of the cut and the look of it. And it's the 1921 W516-2-1. It's the Christy Mathewson from that set.
A 6.
Yeah, damn. Yeah. Sammy, I don't remember seeing that before.
I have it usually in the display case. I did a video on it a while back. I think I bought this, if I remember right. I bought this off of what's his name? Harry. God, why am I forgetting his last name? Anyway,
the guy from Pittsburgh.
I think so.
Who knows Steel? Wasn't he?
No. This was at the Garfield show. Harry.
Oh, okay.
There's a guy named Harry who sets up, and so I bought this off of him. And I really like the strip cards. The strip cards are always kind of cool to look at. The only thing I don't really like about this card, I'll be honest with you, and maybe some of you might agree, might disagree. I hate the fact that it says ex-giant pitcher. I wish it would just kind of because it makes it sound negative in a way. It's like Christy Mathewson was a celebrated giant pitcher. Why can't we? Why do you have to make it sound like he's like no longer a giant? He's always going to be a giant. So, but yeah, I like this one.
And ridiculously clean, Sam.
Yeah, it was
I don't
a good
remember
cut on that one. Yeah. And then this one I also bought from Harry. This one I consulted with a lot of people about this one. It's the the S81. Let me get my notes on this because I really wanted to kind of share some good fun facts about this one. So the S81 Silks from 1912, and there's a whole set of these. Like there's a lot of different players, and these came from Helmar Turkish Trophy cigarettes. And the idea is that you would send them, what is it here? Like you would send them like slips. There would be slips inside the packaging, and you'd send them in. And like if you send like 20 of them in, you'd be able to pick out the player you want. If you send 50, you get 3, 80, and so forth. And so obviously there's some staining on this one with the Mathewson, but I mean, it's just, to me, it's a thing of beauty that these were designed by a renowned artist named Hamilton King, and just the set in general. I mean, they're numbered on the top here, and there's tons and tons. There's a bunch of Hall of Famers from that, and so I just remember buying this piece, and I was consulting with Orlando and a bunch of other people asking like, hey, does this seem like a good price for this piece? And everyone was like, pretty much, go for it, go for it, go for it. And so these, I mean, they come up. They're not, you don't see them too often. You probably find these at the National. You'll probably find them maybe at Strongsville and some of the bigger shows, but not so much of the smaller ones.
Roughly how big is that, Tim? Like 10 by 12, you think?
No, I'd probably say, I don't know.
Standard paper,
8 by 11.
Okay.
8.5 by 11. So fun. It was a fun piece to add to the Mathewson collection.
Yeah, that's cool.
That is a great piece.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember the other names. There's some big names in there. I mean, I think Walter Johnson is in there. I want to say Ty Cobb is in there too. And obviously those go for big money.
Right.
So have we reached everybody with the pre-war? I think we did, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, by all means, if you guys want to show more cards,
Greg, anything in the back you want to see?
I mean, you got a lot of Spawn up there, and I love Spawn, so he's such a good-looking guy,
Well, your 48 leaf or 49 leaf that we saw at Strongsville again.
Yeah.
We're ranking Strongsville.
Yeah.
That was a great pickup, I have to say. You have a heck of an eye.
Well, thank you. I have my 48 Bowman right here. I could grab that, but yeah, I don't know. Whatever you want to see, I'm happy to show you. We can look at some golf cards.
Just want to say, if you don't have a transagram, you will go home with a transagram at the National.
Sammy, I can do.
You autograph that with an inscription?
I could. And Mookie, I've inscribed a good one and a bad one for Mookie. He's showing.
I can do a shameless plug. I'm running a contest that ends on Monday night.
That's right.
I think most of you guys have seen them, but I can show the cards if
Yeah,
anybody who hasn't seen them. So
absolutely.
I can plug my video tomorrow. I'm doing an SGC reveal.
Look at that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, there's some good stuff in here, including a big card on the bottom.
I want to see it before your video.
Yeah, it's going to be in my video tomorrow. I'm going to do it tomorrow morning and put it up right away.
Awesome. So yeah, I'm running a contest for 200 subscribers, and I know everybody who's on this live knows that, but maybe some people in the chat don't. So basically, it consists of going to that video. That's 200 subscriber giveaway, and simply if you're a subscriber to my channel, make a comment in the video and you qualify. And I'm paying out, or I shouldn't say paying out. I am. That's the poker player in me, Sammy. I'm giving away four prizes, and some of the prizes are multiple cards. So fourth place is a 64 cool. Alkaline Giants, along with the 56 Mini Minoso. So that's fourth place. Does
Chris from Missouri still need that Minoso?
Does he?
I think so, doesn't he? I thought he did.
I don't know. Oh no, he was looking at the Monty Irving.
Oh, Monty Irving, that's right.
Yeah. So that's fourth place, those two cards, and then third place is the 68 game piece Roberto Clemente. Heck yeah, I'm buying subs, Orlando. I saw that. Along with 64 Giant Gunners, Willie Mays and Orlando Cepeda.
That's fantastic, man.
And then,
All right, I'll show a few things. Rick's saying he wants to see some cards, and I know
Hold on.
he's
Oh, yeah.
a old guy. So I have a few things. First, I wanted to show you.
Hang on, Greg. 1 second. I think Jason was still finishing up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No worries. I'll just show second place is the 56 Robin Roberts in PSA 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then first place, and that's only one card. And then first place is one card as well.
Oh, man.
Oh, wow.
68 Mickey Mantle in a 1.5. Presents awesome. Has creasing in it if you tilt it the right way. But first place is going to win this guy. So,
yeah, make sure that you subscribe to Jason's channel.
Yes, and thank you for the shameless plug. And yes, I'm what did Orlando say? Buying subs. Yeah, all right.
You just picked up a new subscriber. Mark Hoyle says he's subscribed.
Yeah, Mark is all about it, man.
Oh,
He's
Mark's
all about it.
I watched Mark all over Hobby Palooza. He's got like the most incredible collection in the world. So I mean,
Yes.
I will say this in true fashion, and I mean this truly. It's jokingly buying subs, but the reality is, I was so happy to get into this whole YouTube kind of community. I never thought I'd even have 200 subscribers, so it's a huge thing for me. I was really happy. I'm really excited, so I wanted to give back something. And most of the people who are in it, I'll tell you right now, guys, I think I'm not even up to 50 people. So it's 4 places, so you have a 1 in 10 shot of winning one of those 4 prizes. And I just hope, there's a few people I don't know, and obviously whoever wins. But if someone wins at the National, I'll just bring it because it's going to be 3 weeks later. But I'm really, really excited to do this, and more to come down the road. So. And I'm sorry, Greg. Go ahead. I was.
Oh no, I cut you off. I
no,
feel badly.
No. Do your thing.
I'll be right back, guys.
So I was saying first, I wanted to show my spawn, my 48 spawn. You were talking about my 49, but there's my 48 spawn rookie. I was saying that Rick was saying show more cards, and I know he likes old stuff. So I've got a couple things I was going to show. I've got a Sport King, because I was just showing some Sport Kings. I was like, I'll show my other Sport Kings. So I'm going to show some golf cards. I hope that.
You know what?
I hope that's okay.
I'm going to be honest with you, Greg, and I'm going to cut you off again.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk to you later about golf cards.
Yeah. I love them.
Yeah.
They're fairly affordable. So this is Walter Hagen Sport King. It's a 4.5. But my gosh, it's beautiful. Nice. So there are in the Sport King set. Again, there's just under 50 cards. There are 3 golfers. So there's Walter Hagen, which I have in a 4.5 here, and the color on it is, it's a really nice copy of it. And then I have the Gene Sarazen in a 3. So again, I think it's really nice 3. And then the last one is Bobby Jones, and the Bobby Jones in like a 1 is like $1,000.
Right.
It's like, if I saw a nice 2 or 1.5 at the National, I might do it. But so then I've got a Harry Varden, the average, the guy with the best average over the course of the golf season in the PGA Tour gets the Varden Trophy.
Right.
So that's a 1902 Harry Varden in a 2.5, and that's an Ogden, the Ogden tabs. And you can see on the top there's a little stain, which is the reason it's a 2, but the way it presents, I think, is fantastic. And then I got a Walter Hagen rookie card. Walter Hagen's rookie card is a Churchman. Churchmans aren't super rare in early tobacco cards, so you can get most Churchman cards pretty affordable. Because this is his rookie, it's not cheap, but it's not crazy expensive either, and this isn't a 4.
In a lower grade, Greg, maybe a 2 or something along that lines, what do you roughly price? What would you think? I'm not
under $200.
Oh, really?
In a 2, yeah.
Okay.
Because like the Sport King Hagen was way more expensive than his rookie card, just because of the popularity and the size and the image and its color and all that.
Beautiful.
But and then I had bid on a few Bobby Jones rookie cards and kept losing out. So I just kind of tried to broaden my search. This is a Bobby Jones rookie card. This is pretty expensive. So Bobby Jones rookie card, this is a Lambert and Butler. And it's like the who's who in sport. Now, the Bobby Jones rookie card is an interesting one because I kept bidding, kept getting outbid at the last minute. And then I found this 2, which I thought was gorgeous on Golden. Now, Golden has auctions, but they also have just stuff for sale. So I just searched Golden's database. This popped up, and it had been sitting forever. And the guy was asking like $300 for it. And a 2 had just sold for like 400 on eBay. And I was like, maybe it was a 2.5 sold for 400. So I'm like, I'm going to make this guy an offer. So I just made him an offer, because you can make an offer on the cards that are just for sale. I offered him like $200 and he took it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm glad I didn't get the auction I just lost out on. So that's fantastic. And then I have this 31 Churchman. They had a couple of these sets where they have these kind of cartoony looks. And there's some different sizes. There's a larger one and a smaller one. This is the smaller one. But again, I'm telling you guys, when you're talking anything pre-war, a 3 is a really good grade.
Oh, absolutely.
And so this is centered in a 3, and I just think it's fantastic. And I had to pay out anything with Bobby Jones's name on it gets expensive. Like, he's the guy.
I know.
Other than that, there's a couple of guys turn of the century that are up there too, but so that Bobby Jones I love as well. So I'm always hunting for golf cards. They're kind of like my thing I don't talk a lot about on the channel. I don't talk a lot about, like Sammy had said earlier, like whenever you do a basketball video, nobody watches. Like, I show what I think people want to see, but I've got a lot of basketball cards. I've got a lot of football cards. I've got a lot of golf cards, but I just don't show them because I don't think most people are that interested.
I've come to the conclusion that the channel, Bobby Jones was a good picture.
I'm not the basketball guy.
I've come to the conclusion that, because I did a couple and they flatlined, just like Sammy said. I did a couple of football cards, but at the end of the day, I'm just going to show what I want to show. Like, I've been in a huge Jordan mood lately, or mood, I should say. Like, I've been watching all the videos of him, the LeBron, who's better, him or LeBron, and I'm like, you know what? I grew up in Chicago in the Jordan era. He is my favorite player to collect, and I'm just going to start showing. I have hundreds of his cards, and nothing really, really pricey. I did bring some. I brought 1 or 2 to the National to show that graded, that I bought in, I don't know, 2000 or something like that. I graded a 10, and now they're worth something. But I'm going to do a video on Jordan, and I love the golf cards. So I come from a golf family. My in-laws live in Pinehurst. My brother is a huge golfer. My whole family, my kids. But I hate golf, playing it. I'm terrible at it. I'm horrible at it. I love watching it. When my in-laws lived in Chicago here, they used to the Western Open was at Cog Hill, Cog number 4, and they would donate their time, and my mother-in-law was one of the sign carriers, so I've got a ton of signed golf balls from her, and from
a lot of those older golfers sign through the mail quickly, and they do it for free. Like, you can send, like, I sent a few off a few years ago. I got Hale Irwin. I got Lee Trevino in like a week.
Really?
I got Tom Watson, Curtis Strange. Like, there's like a lot of these old golfers and I have the full 81 and 82 sets, and then I have a lot of the 81 and 82, which is like the big year that it went mainstream for golf, and I have a lot of that stuff. But I don't know if you guys are teasing me about showing my pirate cards, because I'll get them out. I'll get them out. In fact, my what is it, June pickups video will be coming out next week. You might see a couple more. So
I had a pro set from 80 or 81.
Yeah,
and I've got that. It was a smaller set. I've got that.
Oh.
And what I would do is, because I would go to all the local events. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
I got that signed by Arnold Palmer in person after he finished the 18th hole at a senior event. I got him to sign that for me.
Yeah, I've got a Nick Price, and he signed it right over his face. But Nick Price. Jeff Sluman was a local guy to Chicago. My father-in-law, one of his good friends, was a caddy on tour. He knew a lot of people, so he caddied for Justin Leonard for some time. So
Oh,
just a lot
Texas
of
boy.
yeah. So I got a lot of cool stuff on golf. So when you show that, and I am actually hunting for gifts for my father-in-law, so I need that. We'll talk offline.
Yeah, for
That's
sure,
cool, yeah.
for sure.
Sorry, guys, I didn't mean to take over the channel with
I gotta.
golf.
I
gotta
I
show
have
this one
Chi
real
Chi
fast.
Rodriguez autograph, Smokey. I don't have any of his cards, but I have his autographs.
I can't not show this one. I always
Yeah.
love showing this one.
That's a given.
Uh, this one was originally in a PSA slab in a 2.5, and SGC was nice enough to give me a 3. So
Did you do a video on that, Sammy?
yeah, that was the SGC reveal that I
Okay.
did from Strongsville.
Oh, okay.
I got
Got
a lot. I got some flack on re-slabbing this in an SGC, but a lot of people came to my defense. So
I would come to your defense. I'm out of beer, and I'm told that my time is up by my boss.
okay, it's
Warden,
understandable.
your warden.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, Sam, it's
Yeah.
again. Thank you for inviting me on, Jason. We will see you in a few weeks.
Absolutely, sir.
Greg, wonderful to be on a show with you finally.
Yeah,
Because I met you before I actually interacted with you
at
on
Strongsville we met, right?
YouTube, which is a little bit different from the way that it usually goes.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
But we'll hang at the National. And,
Yeah, back in Cleveland,
yeah, and
back in the hot spot of the country.
Yeah. The
we'll
juggernaut.
we'll go spawn hunting together. So.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
All right, guys. I gotta
All right.
take
See you, man.
off. It's been a blast, and thank you so much, guys. And we'll see you soon.
See you,
Take care,
Dan.
Dan.
Very cool. That is good stuff. So, what do people want to see? I don't know
So-
what people.
I have well, these aren't SGC. I have like a full SGC order that I'll be bringing in to the National with me. I'll just go through them really fast.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of these are the consignment cards. I'll show you the ones that are mine, and then I'll show the ones that are consignment based. So these are the ones that I was thinking about sending in. I'm not 100% sure, but these are O-Peachies from '77. Got this really nice looking. Let me go.
Yeah, go solo.
Oh, wow,
There you go.
that's
There you go.
really nice.
Yeah, this Nolan Ryan. There's the back. There's a whole bunch of them. Here's the
That's
Thurman Munson. This all came from the same table that I bought from. Got a Johnny Bench.
These are all O-Peachy?
These are all O-Peachies.
And you got these where?
At the Garfield show. There's a
Okay.
guy who was selling it, also consigning it for somebody else, and letting these go for really like astounding prices.
I
mean,
love
in
that
a good
card.
way.
I
The George
love
Brett.
that. That's a great card.
So these four, I mean, the Nolan Ryan is the one I'm leaning towards, but I mean, we'll see. These are the consignment-based cards.
So those were yours, Sammy?
These are the ones I picked up out of my own pocket. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to start from this one. This one, I out of all the Ricky Hendersons from the consignment, I thought this one was the sharpest looking one. Yeah, the front and back. I thought this has a chance of doing pretty well.
It's an absolute sin. I do not have that card, believe it or not.
This one is a kind of a wild card, the Hank Aaron 73. I sent one in the past and it graded a 5, so I don't know what this will do, but sorry, the focus is not doing a good job here, but there it goes. And then the back is what kind of captured it for me. Is the centering on the back is always tough. You can't really find these well centered. Really nice 56 Ed Matthews, and I know a lot of people love that, like the kind of like the rough cut on the bottom. It's so common with this set.
Mhm.
I like
Get
it.
that rough cut.
I like it.
I
I
do
need
too.
that. Every time you show that, I need that card,
Yeah.
Sammy.
This one is a bit of a wild card as well.
Mm,
The 83 tops traded Darryl Strawberry.
that's
I mean,
the strawberry card.
that is the Strawberry card.
Even though the 84 Donruss is a cooler image, that's the card.
Yes.
Yeah. This one, I mean, again, it's all consignment, so this is going to be for sale after getting graded. But I mean, I spoke with Mike, the guy who I'm helping out, and we agreed like if this would have to grade like a 9 or a 10, I think, to make it worthwhile. So I think it has a chance, though, of at least a 9. Getting into some Bowman. Yeah, getting some Bowman 50. This is Richie Ashburn's 1950 Bowman.
Oh, you got a big boy in this. I forgot about this.
Second year Ashburn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tape stains. Obviously, everybody's favorite rookie from the 73.
Durance rookie.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Ray Philly just rolled his eyes at you.
Sorry, the focus is not doing it justice, but trust me when I say it's. I would say it's like a 5, maybe 4. Yeah, 5 or 6, perhaps. Going back to the Bowman, Duke Snyder's second year. Tape stains are the tape stains are there, but the card looks really nice. Jumping around a bit, gotta have a 75 Ryan in there, and then gotta have a Robin Yount to send in as well.
Hey guys. Hey guys.
Hey guys, I'll buy that off you and I'll grade it myself. And you got George Brett's rookie as well. I thought the corners looked pretty nice for this. And I'll finish off the last two. The last two are the big ones. Roy Campanella's 1950 Bowman.
That is a criminally cheap card.
I'm concerned that there's a trim right here. It looks like there might have been
a little unevenness.
A little bit right here. But the big boy card, the big boy card, of course, is Ted Williams, Bowman 1950.
And we texted about that one, Greg. I remember your video of you finding that.
I was looking back at that today. I want to say I paid like $40.
Yes,
$40 for that.
I just remember you finding it, and I'm like, what the heck?
It wasn't really a bargain box. It was a box mostly of commons, separated by year. And I was going through them, and I'm like, I'm like flipping through. I'm like, that's a Ted Williams, and that says $40. And the guy is a really good guy, and he's a good dealer, and he prides himself on having like super high end stuff. And that one was just thrashed.
Right.
So he was just like kind of, I think, wanted to get rid of it because he didn't want to have like a beater in there. And so he just priced it to sell it. Happily bought it for, I think it was $40. And then the Yogi, same year Yogi, I paid $10.
Jesus. What did you had them graded, right?
Yeah, the Yogi got a 1 for sure because it had paper loss. I think the Ted Williams, I think it got a 1.5. I don't remember.
That's right up my alley. That's
I know.
Right up my
and they were both centered really well. So
right.
They had great eye appeal. So yeah, they were that was a cool one for sure.
That's awesome.
That's about what I had. I imagine, did you bust out some pirate cards for everybody?
I can get out whatever you want. We can look at some basketball cards. We can look at some pirate cards. Whatever you guys want, I'll get. I got all sorts of stuff back there.
Let me see. If we're doing basketball, this is the one I picked up recently. Gotta love a good 69 ruler, Billy Cunningham, Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I feel bad because a lot of my basketball isn't necessarily vintage. But here's my LeBron James rookie. For all the LeBron James fans. That's his paper rookie. And I don't know. I've considered getting rid of this because my wife said you can't get rid of LeBron James rookie card. And my whole thought was, you know what? I'm not a fan. So why do I have it? You know, I'm a Kobe fan. I'm a Michael fan. So, and then I've got some Michael inserts.
Nice.
Standard Michael inserts, 8s. This one I bought for, I think it was $5 in a bargain box, and it graded an 8. So I was pretty pleased with that. But no Michael Jordans will leave my collection. So.
Well, this one's for Andrew and Mike. Yeah, Mike, the sports card collector. I'll appreciate this one.
I love those. You started selling off that set, didn't you, Sam?
I did. I'm keeping the rulers, but I sold the Lou Alcindor or the Kareem rookie. There's a guy who buys from me in Milford who's been eyeing the rookie for a while. It was a 1.5, but it looked nice enough. And this one, I like the rulers more than the sets.
I think the rulers are awesome.
I mean, I'm a person of aesthetics, so I like the design. If I like the design of something, if it's colorful and it kind of gravitates you if you see it in a table, especially Kareem. Actually, a fun fact about this one is this set, they were making a prototype. When they did the prototypes, they did one for Bill Russell, but he retired that year. So the official issued ones, like as you see, didn't have a Bill Russell, but somewhere in the factory of Topps, many moons ago, there was a Bill Russell prototype floating somewhere.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I hear. It was
all right. I'll show you a couple things. I forgot when I was showing some of my golf cards, I didn't show this one. So this is a Ben Hogan rookie card. Ben Hogan's rookie card is the 51 Burke Ross. So we all know the Burke Ross set. So that I got in a 5. That was not a cheap card because it's his rookie and it's a 51 Burke Ross. So that's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
And then I figured we were talking about basketball and then somebody said something about Bird. I could grab my Bird Magic rookie too, but you guys have seen that. I've not shown this card in a long time. So from my personal collection as a kid, I was a Roger Clemens guy. My basketball player was Larry Bird. So this card came from my personal collection. I probably bought this card when I was 9, and it stayed in my personal collection. I thought it had a chance at a 9, so I sent it in and I got an 8. But it's about perfect.
Yeah. You have that, Sam. That's the 81, right?
That's the card that got me back into the hobby.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic card, and I've had it. I mean, I bet I paid $8 for that card as a kid. Because I remember I paid, I think, $30 for the rookie card, which wasn't the one with Magic on it. And this was significantly cheaper. So that's kind of a cool one. I do have a lot of Dr. J stuff, so because I'm slowly working on a Dr. J run. So here's a 72. This is his All-Star. So he had a regular and an All-Star in 72. Here's the All-Star. That one's in a 6. Super cool with the ABA ball.
He's criminally underpriced. If it's not his rookie card, it's
insane. 74. Dr. J is also in a 6.
You can find 5s and 6s like for $20, $30, $40.
Yes. Once you start getting up, like the next few are a little higher because they're higher grade. This is a 7. Got the 75 and a 7. And these are all PSA, and for me, it's mostly about centering on these. Here's the 78.
That's an awesome card. I had that in the 5. I gave it to my nephew. So
got a 79.
Oh, that's a great card because it has Wes on. It has 2 Hall of Famers.
Right.
Wes Unseld.
And then I've got a few older guys. Like I really like my favorite basketball sets are 71, 72. So I've got a lot of these. So I've got a 71 Chamberlain, but it's in the other room. This is the 72 Chamberlain.
I love the 72 set. I think
they all have their jerseys on backwards so you can see their name.
Right.
I think
Jerry West has the same.
I think it was a licensing issue.
I think you're right.
Some of them were inside out, or they had their warm ups on top.
There's a 71. This is the last card where it says Lou Alcindor instead of Kareem. That's a pretty cool one. That's in a 6. I've got an 72 Oscar Robertson in a 6.
Another one, criminally underpriced. If it's not his rookie, I mean, you can get him at a good rate.
Yeah,
his rookie was something from the 61 Fleer.
Correct.
Yeah, it is. My brother went to University of Cincinnati, and they've got a statue of him out front. And then this is one of my favorite vintage basketball cards, the 72 Kareem. It just looks like he's trying to fit into the frame there.
Right.
This is in a 6. So, I mean, I don't show my basketball stuff a lot, but I love it. I absolutely love it.
I gotta show all the rulers if you don't mind.
No, go ahead.
I figured Andrew would appreciate the Wes Unseld because it has, he played for Baltimore, And I know Andrew. I think he's from Maryland. So you got the three big men here: Elvin Hayes, Chamberlain, Wes Unseld. Um, I mean, these I would have to grade these. SGC doesn't grade these, unfortunately. So um, some more big. I got a second Wes Unseld. Walt Frazier. I think I picked up at the East Coast National in New York. New York. Bob Rule. The only one that I'm missing, I think, is Jerry West. Like Hall of Famers wise, Big O, Havlicek, Jerry Lucas. I love the Havlicek. Somebody mentioned in the chat they have a Hondo. Having Hondo, awesome.
I kind of like the way you're displaying them just like that. You're not considering grading them all, are you?
No, probably not. I've had these in these top loaders for a while. Gail Goodrich, Mullins, and Gus Johnson, and I picked this one up at the National. The Willis, Willis Reed. I picked up the National. It was my first purchase last year. I was walking with Steven Sports Cards, and I think I got it for like $30, which is a really nice price for Willis Reed during his quote unquote rookie year. Earl Monroe, and then another Billy Cunningham. So I love busting these out every now and then just to look at, just because they're so nice, nicely arranged together. And the way you would get those rulers is in the packs. I think you would either get a poster or a ruler or both. I can't remember, but they're special cards.
There's my I've got a case here, and I don't even know what's in it, but there's my 72.
Jerry Sloan, Hall of Fame coach.
That's right, and the ugliest rookie card in the history of rookie cards. If you ever look at his rookie card, it's absolutely hideous. I did kind of just grab. I know we're going back to baseball, at least what I'm showing. I grabbed some modern, what we consider modern. So there's the Bowman Griffey. There's the Bowman Griffey rookie. We all love this one. Right? That's a given. There's the Mattingly.
Mm-hmm.
Bought this not too long ago. There's the Ted Simmons. I love this. This is the home field advantage, so it's a little more rare than the standard rookie, but that's the Ichiro. And I probably want to get this one graded. I've got the whole set, the home field advantage set. And then my guy, Yachty. It's a couple rookie cards as you guys were chatting. I was just ripping through what I have in this case because I don't even know what's in here. So. Do you find that you're less organized because you do videos like this and then I don't put cards back? So I put them all. I put them out in this giant catch-all case, and now that's what I'm working with right now is a catch-all case of whatever's in here. So.
I'll put them back.
You put them back?
Yeah.
You're good. You're good.
I have to. Otherwise, I lose in my mind.
Right.
That's why when you guys call something up, I mean, I know where everything is right now. Like, you could say, show me your this, and I can tell you exactly where it is. See, my back is killing me right now. That's the only reason I'm not moving faster. But
no, I get it. You're fine. I actually, that's part of the reason I'm kind of delayed on the card room. But once the card room is set up, I'm hoping to be a little more organized. And set up, but got to show some football, right? There's my man William Perry,
the refrigerator.
There he is.
Yeah,
I remember when he was in WrestleMania.
Yes. There's my Richard Dent rookie card, and then this is my '83 Walter.
Nice.
That his rookie card might be a, I'm not going real. If I don't go real huge, his rookie card in about a 5 might be my national purchase, so we'll see.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I think we went over 2 hours, which is a really nice length of time.
Yeah.
So I think we're good, right? I mean, is everybody good for cutting it here?
Oh yeah, I'm good.
I had a great time. I appreciate you guys inviting me. I know.
Absolutely.
I love always checking these out when you guys are doing them, and you're officially got it named and everything, and so
AI generator.
I appreciate you guys including me.
No,
absolutely, Greg.
Absolute blast, and it's always a pleasure hanging out with anybody in the community. I'm game for. So
for sure.
Now I want to say that I'm going to be away next week, so Jason, if you want to take the reins, feel free to do so.
I will be away as well.
Awesome.
So we'll do cards and cold ones after the holiday week.
Yeah, I think that's probably the way to go.
Yeah.
But thank you guys again so much. 30, we had as many as like 45 people, which is always nice. And finishing up at 31, and it's dropping now as expected. But Greg, thank you so much as always, and it's always a pleasure to hang out, talk cards, and it was really cool to hear the stories behind some of yours. So, I guess in 2 weeks we'll be back. So thank you guys so much.
Thanks, everybody.
Awesome.